Between daycare, babysitters, grandparents, everyone and their mother, your baby's schedule may be all over the place. But today I'm gonna help simplify that for you and get everything in one place and get everyone on one page. Stay tuned for this video. Hey guys, my name is Missy Yondo. I'm the owner of Slumber and Bloom. I'm a pediatric sleep consultant and potty training coach. If you like tips and tricks on sleep training and potty training, then subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you get notified every time I put out a new video. Now I'm gonna break this down into 4 easy steps for you. Before I jump in, I just wanna say that when everyone is on the same page about your baby's schedule, your baby's routines, and just everything that you have worked really hard to set in place for your child to have smooth, happy days, it is so much easier. Your baby is happier, everyone is happier, and things just go so much more smoothly when everything goes according to plan. So then we will jump into step 1, and that is exactly what I just started talking about, is having a consistent schedule at home. When your child is sleeping well at home with independent sleep skills, then they are more likely to be able to sleep in other places as well. That goes for grandparents' house and at daycare. It's going to take practice at those places, but you need to solidify sleep at home first. So that is step 1, and once you get down your child's perfect schedule, then we can jump into step 2. This is where you are going to make millions of copies. Okay, maybe not millions of copies, just make 1 copy per person of your child's schedule, their routines, their wake windows, all of your expectations and your deepest desires for your child. I want you to click the link in the description box down below to get a copy right here. This is what it's gonna look like. I want you to get a copy of this exact layout that I have for you that simplifies everything for your child and their caregivers. Once you've made these copies and you have everything laid out, then it's time to move on to step 3. I want you to go through this form with every single caregiver and make sure that they are on board, that they understand everything, and that they know what to do in case of sleep emergency or, I mean, really any emergency. Make sure that whoever is going to be in charge of your child, make sure that they are on board and on the same page, because if everyone's not on the same page, it's honestly gonna frustrate you more than anyone else. But just to kind of cover your own bases, just kind of like throw all this information out there, go through it with them. Don't just like hand them a piece of paper and say, hey, here's our schedule, here's our routines. I'd really appreciate you to do this with my child. Like, that's great, but you need to take it a step further. I'm gonna get some slack for this comment, but I'm saying especially with the grandparents, because I love them dearly, but grandparents like to just do whatever they want to do. And they don't always understand or remember when their kids were little that when your child is off schedule, when they miss a nap, when they go to bed really late, that like maybe they were able to enjoy your child a little bit longer, but the next day, you're the one that has to like deal with the fallout of your child's overtiredness. You're the one that is going to have to get your child's sleep back on track. And it's going to frustrate you more than if you just like go through all of your expectations with the caregivers before they're kind of like on their own with your child in their care. So make sure you're going through all of your rules and expectations with them. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. Some people will say like, oh, you're a type A mom, but like, who cares? If that makes everyone else happy, then do it. Grab the download PDF down below. So now that everyone is on the same page and everyone understands your expectations when they're watching your child, let's move on to step 4. Now, here is where we are going to say that you need to have realistic expectations, even though within step 3, we're telling everyone what we want them to do and how we want them to, you know, respect your boundaries and your routines with your child. We kind of also have to accept that there's going to be the outliers who don't really, you know, take to heart your wishes. So this is where we're going to utilize the 80-20 rule. If your caregiver strays from your routines and, you know, everything falls off the rails, that is your 20% right there. When you get your baby back, you need to get right back on track. You need to get right back to your regular sleep expectations, your regular sleep routines. It may be a rough day. It might be a rough 2 days, but you don't want your child getting overtired. You might need to shorten some wake windows just a little bit by about 15 to 30 minutes to catch up on the sleep that someone else threw off the night before, but we have to have those realistic expectations that that's probably going to happen, especially around the holidays, or especially when people are traveling, especially when there's a lot going on and your child might be overstimulated by a lot going on in their lives. So it's okay if things do fall off tracks a little bit, but you know, we have to have those realistic expectations and flexibility that these are babies, they're humans, they are not robots, and you can't just expect them to kind of, you know, like follow the rules all the time. Because also, I do want to note that if the caregiver who is with your child is following everything to a T and your child is just having a hard time sleeping at their house, that's okay too. And don't ever put blame on anybody else for that. It takes time to get used to sleeping somewhere. I remember when my youngest was a baby and he was sleeping over at his grandparents for the first time, it took him about an hour to fall asleep. But I mean, we have to expect those little bumps in the road, and we can always make up for them with earlier bedtimes and earlier nap times the next day or the next couple days. So definitely expect those little bumps in the road and just kind of, you know, accept them gracefully and move on. And here's a bonus tip for you. I think it is a brilliantly great idea for everyone who is a caregiver of your child to have a shared sleep log. Now, there are tons of apps for this. You could also use a Google spreadsheet. That's what I use with my clients, and we all share them with each other. So I may have grandma filling out the sleep log one day. I might have mom filling out the sleep log one day, and I'm observing the sleep log and putting in my expertise in the comments, or like whatever details that I need to hear from the parents or the parents need to hear from me. That's all very useful. So having some sort of sleep log or some sleep tracker is a really good idea. I'm going to put a link in the description box down below to a Tally baby tracker. This is something you can use at your house that goes on the wall. You can also hook it up to work with your phone so that all of your caregivers can download the app and use it and track your baby's sleep, but it also tracks your baby's bottles and diapers and all the things. So it's definitely a good idea to invest in something like this so that everyone can be on the same page and that you can know what exactly is going on with your baby's sleep in real time. So even if you're not with your baby, you can still have access to what is going on in real time. If you need help generating a schedule for your baby, I want you to click the link in the description box down below and set up a consultation with me. I would love to help your family get more sleep that you all need and deserve. Trust me, being sleep deprived is not fun. So if you're on track for sleep deprivation and being completely exhausted all the time, get in touch because I want to help you with this. I hope that you guys learned a lot from this video. If you're interested in watching more videos on sleep training, then check out this playlist over here and keep blooming. Mwah!